Every cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's beloved Wolverine isn't the only mutant to show up in the third Deadpool movie. Deadpool and Wolverine is chock full of superhero cameos from the X-Men universe, Fantastic Four universe, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As of 2019's merger, Disney owns all the characters and has begun to fold the characters of X-Men and Fantastic Four into the MCU. Deadpool and Wolverine is a love letter to the 20th Century Fox Marvel movies that are largely dead, or getting rebooted, post-merger. Early in the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine get banished to a place called the Void, a kind of dumping ground for comics characters at the end of space and time. There they run into several characters whose own movies were abandoned or never made. Deadpool and Wolverine offers those characters some closure. Here are all the cameos you may have missed in Deadpool and Wolverine. The Hulk. At the beginning of the movie, Deadpool goes universe hopping to find a Wolverine who can help him save the universe. He encounters several different Logan variants across different timelines, including one who is fighting the Hulk. From the brief glimpse of the big green guy, we guess it's Edward Norton from Marvel's 2008 Hulk movie before the role was recast with Mark Ruffalo. Henry Cavill as Wolverine. In a bit of fan service, Deadpool also runs across a version of Wolverine played by Henry Cavill. Cavill played Superman in the Warner Bros. DC Comics movies, though fans bemoaned the fact that reshoots on Justice League resulted in the post-production team having to digitally remove Cavill's mustache with poor results. Deadpool cracks a joke about how Disney will treat Cavill better than that other studio did. Chris Evans as the Human Torch. In case you were living under a rock for the 2010s, let me remind you that Chris Evans rose to superstardom playing Captain America in the Avengers movies. Many fans blame the recent MCU slump on the fact that Evans left the franchise after Avengers: Endgame. At first, Deadpool and Wolverine hear only his voice, then they see his chiseled jawline. But, in a hilarious twist, when Evans seems poised to utter the iconic phrase, "Avengers, assemble," he instead calls out, "Flame on." He catches on fire as he rises into the sky. Unfortunately, the bad guys immediately extinguish his flame and he crashes down to Earth. Toad, Lady Deathstrike, Prio, Colossus. The villain of the movie, Cassandra Nova, has recruited quite the crew of henchmen from past X-Men films. Among them are Toad, Ray Park, from X-Men, Lady Deathstrike, Kelly Hu, from X2, X-Men United, Pyro, Aaron Stanford, from X-Men, The Last Stand, and Colossus, Stefan Kapicic, from Deadpool. Ant-Man's corpse. Does this even really count as a cameo? Nova uses the corpse of a giant version of Ant-Man as her headquarters in the Void. Which Ant-Man, exactly, was sent to the Void and how he died, we do not know. But when Ant-Man's skull is revealed, Deadpool cracks, Paul Rudd finally aged. Tyler Mane's Sabretooth. We've gotten two versions of Sabretooth in the Hugh Jackman Wolverine movies. Tyler Mane played the clawed villain in the first X-Men movie where he fought Wolverine on the top of the Statue of Liberty. Ultimately, Sabretooth lost that battle when Cyclops blasted him off the landmark with his laser vision. When Mane's Sabretooth pops up in Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool gleefully tells Wolverine that people have waited decades for this fight, he's probably referring to the rematch from the original X-Men film. Jennifer Garner as Elektra. While stuck in the Void, Deadpool and Wolverine seek out other superheroes who have been banished to the no man's land. One of the first characters they encounter is Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner in both Daredevil and her solo spin-off film, Elektra. Wesley Snipes as Blade. Before there was Iron Man or Spider-Man or even the X-Men on the big screen, there was Blade. The vampire hunter played by Wesley Snipes arguably kicked off the era of modern comic book movies with his 1998 film. After a long hiatus, Snipes is back. At one point in the film, he quips, "There's only ever been one Blade. There only ever going to be one Blade." Channing Tatum as Gambit. Channing Tatum spent a decade trying to get a Gambit movie made. The actor fell in love with the Cajun thief from the X-Men franchise and co-wrote a screenplay that he's described as an R-rated rom-com. Tatum's version of Gambit bemoans the fact that he never got his own movie, his adventures were cut short before they even began. Daphne Keane as X-23. Deadpool sets the tone for the movie early in its run. In a voiceover says the audience is probably wondering how they will resurrect Hugh Jackman's Wolverine while still respecting his noble death at the end of 2017's Logan. "We're not," Deadpool quips, before exhuming Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and using his bones to brutally murder dozens of enemies. In Deadpool and Wolverine, she shows up largely to buck up Wolverine and tell him he's capable of saving the world, despite his shameful past. Blake Lively as Lady Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are one of Hollywood's most enduring it couples. They've been spotted hanging out with Taylor Swift backstage at her concerts and traveling to one another's shoots so their family can stay together even as they work on their respective films. So it seemed only a matter of time until Lively cameoed in one of Reynolds' action flicks. She finally does so as Lady Deadpool, the female version of the Merc with a mouth. Finally, when Lady Deadpool does show up, she sports a long, high, blonde ponytail, just like the one that Lively herself wore to the premiere of the movie. Finally, when Lady Deadpool does show up, she sports a long, high, blonde ponytail, just like the one that Lively herself wore to the premiere of the movie. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, smiley face.